Everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Night Owls podcast, two anonymous teens that talk about stuff. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing great, thank you very much. So, obviously the spooky season is coming up. I'm pretty excited for it. I just decorated my room, and it looks pretty good in my opinion. I don't know.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the great old TikTok and people taking advantage of people, animals, all that good stuff on TikTok.
For views.
For views,
yeah.
Yes. Purely for publicity and not for anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to start off with TikTok street interviews.
Oh, God.
Because this is where everything happens that is terrible.
Yeah.
So, I was watching quite a few of these trying to pick out what to talk about. And I hit a gold mine. There's this one TikToker who creeps me out so much. He just has incredible masculine energy in the worst way possible. So, what happens is he will go outside bars, which is not good because he'll be asking women these questions, and because they're so intoxicated, they'll just answer to anything and don't really have true consent in that.
Yeah. Which is bad on its own, but the questions that they ask are just super disturbing.
So bad.
Super disturbing.
Okay, so the most mellow one that I could find is someone who was asking, how much does your fit cost? Because I'm like, okay, that's good, whatever.
That's fine, yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter, not taking advantage of any way.
No, it's just how much does your outfit, I don't find anything wrong with that.
Yeah. And then, next question was, what's your body count?
Ugh.
So, automatically just, boom, straight into it.
Yeah.
And these people answer because they're very, very drunk. And in the videos, you can see that they can barely stand up, right? And everything. And it's just disgusting how he asks these questions with knowing that they can't really say no in this situation because they're just like, yeah, what the hell, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Every single person who was asked these questions answered them that I saw, unless he edited them out and just didn't put them in his TikToks.
Mm.
But the creepiest part about all of these questions, which I'll get back to, is that while he's asking them, he's in very close physical contact with everyone.
Oh, gross.
Like, arm around the shoulder,
Ew, okay.
Very close, very intimate. It's just like,
That's gross.
There's no consent in this, and there's nothing that they can really do against this because
they're
one,
drunk.
they're drunk and can't really think exactly straight, and two, you have a camera shoved in their face, and people get nervous in front of cameras.
Mm.
Anyway, next question that he asked, I'm not gonna say, but it was pretty much, do you like to sleep with people in this certain type of way? Mm-hmm. Which is
so extremely personal, extremely sexual, and just, especially since they're drunk, it's just wrong. It's completely wrong.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
And then you would proceed to ask at the end, do you want to sleep with me? Which
Ew.
is like, come on, dude. You're hanging outside of a bar. You're like 30. Get a life.
Gross.
There was one, too, where he was purposely breaking consent. So what he would do is he would ask, can I shake your hand? And then they would say no. And then he would shake their hand. Mm. And it would, proceed like that. And it's just very creepy and very, just
yeah.
It just makes me super uncomfortable. And I gagged, 20 times watching these videos.
It's not a lot of people are like, well, maybe you shouldn't get drunk, blah, blah, blah. It's not their fault. I mean, you're allowed to get drunk, you're allowed to do. It's completely his fault, and it's, it's mostly girls, but it's none of their fault at all. They're in a vulnerable situation, and it's just, it's absolutely disgusting. And he's not the only one that does it. You can look it up on YouTube. There's tons of videos of these people going up and asking these super gross and personal questions. And because they're drunk, they can't think right, and they usually answer them. And it's very personal. And of course, it goes on to the internet, which is also pretty disgusting.
And the problem with this, too, is the video where this guy asked, how many bodies do you have, had more than 6 million views.
Wow.
So this is very widespread along tons of people. And the problem with this is there's no respect for their public lives.
Oh no.
Like, they could possibly get fired for these videos. I doubt it. But if you're in the right type of business, then it could impact your life a lot.
Mhm.
And I was watching someone else react to these videos, and they blurred out the faces of the people because they're like, they didn't give consent. They didn't really know it was happening.
Oh, exactly.
And so they didn't know their face would be shown to 6 million people. But he does not blur out anything. He doesn't really care about the people that he's asking these questions to. It's all for likes and views, and sadly, he gets a lot of these.
Yeah, nothing gets censored when you look at those videos. It's very, very disturbing.
I'm just going to go down like a side path for a second, because we are talking about taking advantage of situations and people for trends.
Yeah.
The hit a lick trend. You know this one, right?
No, I don't.
You don't know the hit a lick trend?
No, I don't.
Okay, so it's like people will be like going to hit a lick, and then they'll steal stuff from like schools. Have you seen these or no?
Oh, I haven't seen them. I think I've maybe seen one or two. But our principal at our school actually came on and was like, this is getting out of hand. Like, we have to monitor everything now. Like,
there have been hundreds of schools that have had their principals go on the announcements, because what people will do is they'll go into bathrooms, steal soap dispensers, sinks. Like, people are going crazy.
Oh, I know. I've seen one where it was like they took like the stall doors off of the like latches and everything. And it's not just in schools, I think, right?
It's mostly in schools, but it can be other places too. And the problem with this, though, is it's taking stuff from other people purely for personal gain.
Yeah.
There's nothing that they gain from this. They lose a lot out of this, but it's all just like, hey, I'm going to mess up this thing just for views and likes.
And it's like, oh my gosh, look at all these views coming in.
But what do you get from that?
But what do you gain from it?
You get one video where you get temporarily internet famous, but no one will remember that from like a week from now.
No, exactly. You know? Yeah.
So,
and you just destroyed property, and now they have to deal with your friggin' actions because of a stupid TikTok thing that you want to do. It's like...
Yeah, it's gross.
It's stupid.
Be better, people.
Be better.
Just be better.
So, along with the same theme, it doesn't go for people... Well, it does go for people, sorry. But it doesn't just go for people. It goes for animals as well. I came across quite a few videos around the internet. Basically... So I see these people on the internet who, like, put these animals into very vulnerable situations. Not only that, but a lot of them make them seem, like, aggressive. I came across this girl's page. She had a pet chihuahua, and in reality, chihuahuas aren't aggressive. They have a reputation that they are, but honestly, they are not. They are talkative, they are loud, but they are not aggressive unless... poked at, or...
Same as pit bulls.
Same as pit bulls. Pit bulls are the sweetest animals in the world, but people do these things, and then they're like, oh, it's the dog's fault. Oh, it's so dumb. But, anyways, she would put, like, videos up on TikTok, for example, like, going up to the dog's face and trying to give them a kiss, and I quotation this because, she puts up, like, a microphone or something up in the dog's face, and of course the dog bites back or barks or growls because you're getting into the dog's personal space. And that is gross on its own, but she's also putting... Her whole page is on TikTok, so she puts this all on the internet of this poor dog being, aggravated for these views that she has. And you can see it's not just this video, but you can look it up as well, like... there's dogs, same with the pit bulls, like we mentioned before, is like, they have a reputation, but it's always the people, and most of the time, they put it online for views. Like, there's a thing going around, rest in peace, but there was a thing going around called Pudgy. He was a little dog, and the whole TikTok was about, this dog, and he was aggressive, and he was, always talking, barking in the microphone or whatever. I don't really... No, I didn't follow that page or anything. But, the dog sadly passed away. But anyways, the whole point of that was, he put these videos on TikTok of his dog supposedly being aggressive or supposedly blah 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 blah. It's really when really if you really look at it, he's getting into the dog's face. He's constantly poking at him and stuff like that. And I think it's really gross. And it can go for cats too. It goes for any animals. People using animals in vulnerable situations or aggravating them for views. And it's not only are the human part of this disturbing, but also the animal part of this is pretty gross too.
And this is just a pattern all throughout TikTok, I feel, especially lately with a lot of trends. It's just temporarily hurting something or someone else just for views. And then later being like, oh, it's just a joke. It's just a TikTok. Just have a sense of humor or something like that. I really hate it because TikTok's going to be gone in a bit.
Yeah.
You know, like Musical.ly disappeared, Vine disappeared.
Who knows?
TikTok is probably gonna die real quick. Like give it like a year or two.
Yeah.
But then like the effects of this are lasting. Like people have lost tons of relationships because of TikTok, I'm sure, because of a lot of the relationship trends. It was like
the relationships trends, the pranks, everything that goes on it.
And same with our last podcast, I'm talking about the YouTube families. It's just for a small spark of views and trending and likes.
Fame and yeah.
But then the people who are on the other end of this, like they have lasting effects and they could not trust someone for a while and it's not considerate.
Goes for the animals too. They'll have trust issues. They'll be considered dogs with behavioral issues when really it was them all along. And then it's most of the effects for both people and animals are long term. Or can be long term.
Yeah, I know if someone asked me some weird sexual questions outside of a bar, I'd be thinking that a lot longer than 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. I think it would change everything. Yeah. There is another thing that is very similar as well. I know we're talking about a lot of stuff involving this topic, but it is a really interesting topic, and there's a lot that goes along with it. I'm sure you've seen these videos where these parents prank the kids that we ate all your Halloween candy and they're crying and they're vulnerable and then they're like, oh, it's a prank. Do you not see anything wrong with that? You know, your kids like...
Yeah, I mean, kids trust their parents, or at least they should.
Yeah.
Depending, but then after that, if the parents say like, oh, I ate some of your candy, and they actually like did, then the kid may either not believe them or break down crying again, or next time that they say that they didn't eat their candy, then they might think that they're lying. So it just breaks a lot of trust between people.
And plus, a lot of them were, again, on to social media for these funny laughs, ha ha ha. The poor kids, lose part of that trust because you're essentially being like, oh, just kidding. But for them, like you said, it's not more than 10 seconds. Or are they gonna, like, prank me again? Is this, like, a truth? Is this a lie? And it's, especially, again, with our other podcast as well, a lot of references here. But, they're vulnerable, they're crying, they're on the internet. And for all these views, it's wrong.
Yeah, and the fact that just people profit off of other people's uncomfortableness just makes me really upset and really mad.
Oh, yeah.
Just, I don't know, be funny, be a comedian, do something cool by yourself, but not to put people in harm's way.
Exactly. There's lots of things you can do. You can be, you have a creative, you can do anything. There's a bunch of creative outlets that you can do. You can do all these different original things instead of doing these disgusting videos for being, famous for like a week and then nothing happens. And these people in there, like, their life is changed now because of you. It's disturbing. It's gross. I know we use those words a lot, but it is true and it is fact and it's disgusting.
And we're not talking about like every single street interview on TikTok. Like there are some wholesome ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen. There's this guy, blonde hair, wears a green shirt a lot.
I don't think so.
He's funny. He asks people like great questions though, and just be like, "Hey, what do you think of New York so far?" Stuff like that. And they're just like positive, fun questions, and you could do that.
Yeah.
Or you could be a creep.
Yeah.
needs to be fun and nice and not a creep.
Exactly. You can. We're not saying everything is wrong. We're saying that going around and asking people perverted questions or getting in their personal space or
While
making them
they're in a
vulnerable
yeah.
is a horrible thing. Instead, there's tons of videos out there, like they mentioned, that are good. And there's some of them are funny, some of them are very not inspirational, but a lot of the answers you're like, oh wow, like they're good.
I would just say don't give these people attention.
No.
Because if they realize that what they're doing isn't getting views or anything, then they'll probably stop doing it.
Yeah, it's because they're getting attention and views and likes and probably some of them are making profit out of it, and it's just so if you see anything out there, don't support it.
Yeah.
Report it. Don't support it, report it.
Exactly. All at least that I have to say that I wrote down.
Yeah, I think that's everything. But if you guys, like we said last time, if you guys have any opinions, any feedback, or anything about this topic or the podcast alone, you can let us know in the comments or DM us on Instagram at the Night Owls Podcast. And we're active, we're always responding, and we love to hear your guys's what you guys want to say. So
thank you for listening, and we'll be back pretty soon.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.